Alright guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're a first timer here, I welcome you to this channel. Do like, comment and subscribe. And if you're coming back, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming back. Today, I will be showing us the most known 20 Linux command. I will be showing us the usage and how to use it in our work as we navigate Linux. This is for the beginner, it's for absolute beginner. I'll be showing us these 20 most known Linux command for the efficiency and productivities in our work, even as we navigate Linux. Follow me guys as I show us. So I will open my Linux, my Kali Linux, then open my terminal. After opening terminal, the first thing that I'll be showing us today is what we called touch. You may think that for you to create, since Linux generally we use CMD, that's command line. We use command line while using Linux. So the first thing that I'm going to be showing us today is touch. Touch is used to create a file. If you want to create an empty file, we use touch to create an empty file. So the syntax is touch, then the name of the file that you are creating. Let's assume we have touch, then we have here.txt. We want to create a txt file, so we just say here.txt, then we press enter. All right, so this here.txt has been created. We are going there. The second thing that I'll be showing us is what we call ls. ls. What is ls used for? ls simply means listing. We use ls to list the files, both the files and directory that we have in our current directory. And how do we trigger it? We just press ls, which means listing, then enter. As you can see here, the here that we created, the file that we created the other time appears. The here.txt is here. So we use ls to show every file in our current directory. And how do we know, how do we check our current directory? For you to check your current directory, we use pwd. Once I click enter, it will show me the directory that I am currently. And as you can see, we are in a desktop directory. Moving on, as you can see here, our terminal is getting messed up. How do we wipe our terminal? How do we clear it? For you to clear your terminal, we use the command called clear. Just press clear and you press enter. As you can see, our terminal is gone. All right, the next thing that we are going to do today is how do we create directory or folder. You can call it folder or you call it directory. To create folder or directory, we use mkdir, which means make directory. Make directory, and you write the name of the directory, your desired directory. Here we can write hacking, mkdir hacking, and I will press enter. Once I press enter, I can show it using our listing ls. If I press ls, as you can see, we have hacking, then we have here.txt. Both of them are empty. Let's start populating it. How do we populate? How do we write into this file that we have here? This here.txt, how do we write into it? To write into a file in Linux, we use the editor called nano. We use nano you press nano. Nano is a simple editor that comes with Nanos. It is pre-installed with Nanos. You trigger nano, then here .txt, which is the name of the file. Then you press enter. Once you press enter, another dialog will open. Once this dialog is prompted, you can start writing there. So I can write, I love cybersecurity. Nanos is an open source. Nanos is good to go. Now, there is something about Nano Editor. For you to write something in Nano Editor, to write your text or document into Nano Editor, as you can see here at the bottom, we can see a lot of options. The one for help, for write out, for queries, for cuts, the option for execute, for location, for exit, for read file, for replace, for paste, for justify, for go to line. Now, for us to write into this file, if you want to write into this file, the first thing that you're going to press, as you can see here, if you are using Windows, you press Ctrl O, and if you are using Linux, you press Command O. Once you press Ctrl O, another thing will pop up asking you, do you want to change the name of the file? And since we are not changing the name of our file, you are going to press enter. Once you press enter, if you notice the bottom says row 3 lines. That means the text that we write is now there. Is there. The file has been written, the text has been written. So as you can see, row 3 lines, and we have 3 lines here. What we can do here, we need to go out of our Nano Editor, and for us to go out, we quickly press Ctrl X as shown at the bottom. Ctrl X. Now our file here.txt is no longer empty. Let me clear up my terminal by using clear. How do we view our text in Linux? How do we view it? For you to view your text in Linux, to view your file in your terminal, we use what we call cat. You trigger cat, then the name of the text that you want to view. The name of our text is here.txt. Once you press enter, it will pop up. As you can see here, we can see all what will be written inside the here.txt. The next thing that I'll be showing us is how do we move file? How do we move file into a folder or a directory? And as you can see here, if I press my ls, my listing, we can see Akin and here.txt in our current working directory. Now, let's assume we want to move this here.txt into Akin profile directory or folder. For you to do that, we use mv. We use mv to move in Linux. We say mv, then the file that we are moving, here.txt, then the directory that we are moving into, which is Akin. So immediately we press enter. This command will push this our here.txt into the directory. that has been specified. Enter. If I clear my terminal for us to see it very well, now there's another thing that I want to show us. How do we navigate? How do we move around from one directory to another directory? As you can see in our desktop, we have only one subdirectory. In our working directory, how do we go to that directory? For you to go to another directory in Linux, we use the command called cd. Cd simply means change directory. So you press change directory, then the name of the directory that you are navigating to. So let's assume we are going to Akin directory or folder. I'll press enter. As you can see, we are there. For us to show what is inside of this new directory that we press ls. And as you can see, the here.txt that we move to the ls, to the Akin folder or directory, is there. It's right there. It's right there. This is how to change directory and how to move file between a directory. The next thing that I'll be showing us today is how do we remove a file or document. In Linux, we have a way that we remove or delete a file in a particular directory. In our directory now, if I press ls, we have our here.txt. Before we do that, I'm going to copy this here.txt so that we can use it for this lecture. So for you to copy a file or document in Linux, the first thing that I'm going to do here, so that we can have a copy here, I will create another directory using our mkdir, then the name of our new directory, get here. So we want to create a directory called get here. So it is there now. So if I press ls, we should see it here. So what I'm going to do now, for you to copy file or document in Linux, we use what we call cp. Cp simply means copy. So you press cp, then the name of the file that you are copying. So the name of our file is here.txt. Then the destination which is get here. So we can see that we have our get here, we have it here. So if I press enter, as you can see, you won't get any response. But if we go there, then we should see our new file inside that directory. So how do we navigate? Can you try it from there? Let me give us 3 seconds to try it. Alright, let me show us. If you're able to get it, congratulations. If you are not able to get it, just look up as I do it. You press cd, which means change directory, then get here, you press get here, then you press enter. Now we are there. For us to show what is inside of get here, you press ls, and as you can see, the copy of our here.txt is right there. The next thing that I'm going to be showing us is how do we remove text, how to delete a file in a directory or folder. For you to delete or remove a file in directory or folder, we use what is called rm. We use rm. Rm simply means remove. And for you to use it, we use remove, then the name of the file that we are removing. So we press rm, then we press the name of the file, which is here.txt. .txt. Here .txt. Once you press enter, then it will remove it. Let's move on. So if you press ls again, you won't see it there any longer. Another thing that I'm going to show us today is how do we remove a directory. For you to remove a directory, I will create a directory. I will call it ABC, and I will call it. I will create another one. This is how to create a multiple directory or folder. You just put the name, then the space in between. So if I press enter, then let me clear my terminal. So if I press ls, you can see the ABC and simple directory is there. So for us to go into the simple directory, you press CD to navigate there, then CD simple, enter. So you can press ls to see what is inside of it. So I want to create a file. I want to create a new file. I will use touch. Can you still remember? Touch. Then the name of the file. I will create alphabet.txt. So I'll press enter. It has been created. Now, I want to move out of this simple directory. How do we move out? How do we navigate? We want to navigate back to the get here directory. As you can see here, the get here directory is here, is live here. How do we move to that get here? In Linux, to move one step backward in Linux, we can use cd dot dot. Cd dot dot enables us to move one step backward in our working directory. So if I press enter, as you can see, we are inside the get here directory. That is how to move one step backward in our directory. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be showing us is to remove a directory. For you to remove a directory, we have two directories here. For you to remove a directory, empty directory, we use rmdir, which means remove directory. So if I press rmdir and I say ABC, if I press enter, you can see the ABC directory is gone. But can we do the same with the simple, with directory that has a content? The answer is no. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So if I say rmdir, then simple. It is impossible. It said fail to remove the directory because the directory not empty. Now, how do we remove a directory that is not empty? For you to remove a directory that is not empty, we are going to be using rm, then the name of the directory, simple. We will not stop there. We are going to be using what we call recursive. Recursive will allow us to remove that directory that has content. It will grep every content inside of that directory and prepare them for deleting. It will delete them. Now if I press enter, as you can see, if I press ls again, all directories are gone. So this is how to remove empty and non-empty directory in Linux. What we are going to be doing next is I'm going to navigate to our desktop. So to navigate to desktop, we can write ... That is one step backward, then another ... Since we are inside two directory here, so if I press ... it will take me to my desktop immediately. So if I press ls, we can see that we are there. Now let me navigate to hacking. Let's navigate to hacking. It's like we have a file there. All right, we can see that we have a file inside the hacking. Now, if I press ls and I view the file that we have there, here.txt, then we can see that I love cybersecurity. Linux is an open source. Now, let's assume that we want to check if there is Linux in our write-up. How do we control find? How do we look for the Linux inside of here.txt? Or when we are looking for a file, if you are looking for any file in Linux, there is a way to do it. We use our cat. We combine some command in Linux, and the example is using cat. So we're using cat. Then there's another thing that we call pipe. Pipe enables us to look for a file, and it gives us accuracy and precision while looking for any file or text in a document. So we use cat, then pipe, then we use what we call grep. Then after that, we put what we are looking for, that word that we are looking for. And what we are looking for today is Linux. We are looking for Linux. And where are we looking for the Linux? We are looking for it inside here.txt. So immediately I press enter, we can see it searched through that text, that file, that here.txt. And when it found the keyword that we are looking for, which is Linux, it was highlighted with red. It was written in red and in bold letter, as we can see here. So we can combine command in Linux. So here we use cat in order to view it in a terminal. We use pipe for accuracy. We use grep in order to look for it. And what we are looking for is a string. That is why we put the double quotes around it, then the name of the text that we are looking for. Now, the last thing that I will be showing us today is the manual. This is the place that we can read. We can read anything with this. In case you are familiar, you are new to any tools or command in Linux, this is the command that gives us the overview of all the tools and command that we are using in Linux. The name of this command, we call it man. Man simply means manual. For us to start using man, which is manual, but we write it as man, if you want to use it for any command at all, let's assume we want to use man for mkdir. You just trigger your man space, then the mkdir, which is the name of the command that you want to read about. Then you press enter. As you can see here, it gives us the overview, the expository as regard the command that I want to read about. As you can see it, the mkdir, which means make directory, and it's giving us description about this command, all we can use with it, how to go about everything with it. So once we are done reading, you press on Q. So if you are looking for another thing, you can say man touch and press enter. As you can see, so we can see that touch, we use touch to create new file, and other things that we can use touch for. So this is the best place to read about any tools or command in Linux. So thank you very much. Do like, comment and subscribe. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.